first of all, tell everybody who you are.
Okay, my name is Jenny Van Fawcett.
Now, I know you.
You do. We're friends on Facebook.
We are friends on
for a
Facebook.
while.
Are you a Periscope Pete's friend as well?
No.
Okay, that's going to change. You're about to become part of a new family.
Okay.
I know.
I'm good.
You're going to help out get on Periscope.
Oh, yes, of course.
Okay.
All right, so, you've got how many children?
I have 4 total and 3 on the spectrum.
All right, let's hear the story.
Well, I mean, each basically was born, I hate to use the word normal. I don't even
Typical.
Like that word. Yeah, neurotypical. And each one regressed at a different point. My 3rd child, a son, was actually the first to regress following the MMR. My youngest child, also a son, I wouldn't say he necessarily regressed, he just, with every DTAP and grapefruit size not at the injection site, just sort of slowed in his development until he finally stopped. And then my daughter Hannah was the last to regress at age 5. She had other issues that were sort of leading up to, as far as like, you know, following. She ended up getting, she's probably the most fully vaccinated out of all the kids. Getting the rotavirus vaccine, which decimated her gut, and then, but she still was not at that point diagnosable as having autism or even like ADD or ADHD. They were at that point saying that we needed to kind of keep an eye on her and see how she developed. She actually regressed at age 5 following the placement of 6 amalgams. So for her, her tipping point was actually mercury, but all the rest of that sort of led up to it. So we're probably maybe 85% recovered at this point just from doing biomedical interventions.
And good diet?
Yeah, they're a diet. We've done some chelation. We've done methyl B12 injections at night using insulin shorts. We've done vitamin supplement therapies.
How are your children today? What is missing that you think if I hadn't have given them those vaccines, this would not be a problem?
Well, I mean, it for whatever reason, and I don't know if it's just that, you know, we've got some sensitivities in our family. You know, there's a history of like ear infections and, you know, some other things that you wouldn't necessarily, unless you went back and looked, are indicative of immune function problems. We did the things that we kind of thought were what we were supposed to. We did vaccinate, but we did kind of spread them out. We picked and chose the ones that we thought were important and left off things like varicella and the flu vaccine. They didn't receive Hep B the day of birth. They received it at day 7, which might be part of the reason why we've been able to come back as opposed to a lot of
I agree with that, but isn't it interesting how I speak to so many parents who delayed but still have injury.
I mean, I can only imagine if we had gone through with the whole full schedule, if they had gotten that hit on day 1. And all 3 of my younger children were jaundiced also, so obviously their liver took a hit early on. I think that was part of it, you know, the toxicity. They couldn't clear it out. So
it's when you think back about what you could and should have, as Sheila so well says, could have,
what you
should have,
would have, could have done.
Right, I keep trying, I never get that right. But when you go back and you think, I think to myself, the day Billy had his MMR, can you imagine what would have happened if he'd had the amount that children get in America? He would have died. He nearly died from just the MMR.
My kids each received only 1 dose of the MMR, and you know, we stopped basically not too long after that. If we had continued on, that would have been the end of it. I don't think recovery would have been possible.
So what's your message to the CDC? What's your message to the CDC?
Stop lying, for one. Tell the truth. Bring Bill Thompson up. You know, for an organization that is supposed to represent wellness and the wellness of the public, I feel like you're failing miserably. Do your jobs. This is protecting people's health. This is not doing that. This is the opposite of that. Erring on the side of caution should be first and foremost, and this is not, we're not doing that. We're failing not just one generation, but generations of people at this point.
You look to me like an incredibly brave mum, but I see also that you're carrying a lot of pain.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot. I imagine most autism moms probably carry a layer of guilt, and at some point when the kids are better, then I'll have time to get back and deal with that. But right now I have a job to do. That's more important. So,
well, we love you, and everyone on Periscope loves you, and we're so grateful because I was on my way to the loo and you pulled over in the car and said, "Are you still doing stories? I'm on my way out." And so you pulled in to do it, and we're so grateful that you did, because every story counts. And I hope the 3 of your children's names got put on the...
Yeah, you put them on the
I did
backside.
it. I did it again, see?
You did it for me.
I did it. So
I had to stop and hug you earlier to make sure that you knew that I appreciated it. So,
someone just said hello from Russia.
Oh, hi.
We like to reach far and beyond.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, seriously, we so appreciate you, and maybe one day you'll write a book about how you did recover your children. That's another whole issue that VAX is not about right now.
Right.
Because we have to record injury and we have to concentrate on the damage being done. But there is a whole new area on how people did what they did with their children. And the most important thing to remember is that what works for your children may not work for mine, and what works for Sheila's may not work for Tia's, and so on and so on and so on. And that's why parents should never feel anything but happiness for the people that recover, and the parents who recover should never feel guilt that theirs recovered and ours didn't. And we must love on one another and know that it is what it is, and that'll be that.
Well, I mean, I think that's it. It's all about just taking care. I mean, I don't, with the whole announcement that came out yesterday from Autism Speaks and removing Cure and removing all of the verbiage that says anything bad ever happened, there is still a part that I feel like people miss, and that treating this as a biomedical or biological issue does not negate that we love our children and want them to be the best version of themselves that they can possibly be, because that's really the core of all of this. It's not a matter of necessarily trying to cure who they are, because autism is not who they are. Autism is not who they were before they regressed into this state where inflammation, took away their words. They had words. They were able to walk up and down stairs and do all of these things before they lost all of that and then had to fight hard to get it back. So no, I want to apologize for that.
I love you. You're a strong, strong woman, and you're doing everything right, and we can't wait to hear about how that all transpires. And when it's all good, will you come back and help others, which I know you're doing anyway by telling your story, but we need people like you.
15, 16 years in, you get tired, don't you, Sheila?
I tell you what, one time,
we're
all going to get together, all us mamas.
Right.
And I don't know what we're going to do, but it's going to be crazy. We're going to let it go. We've been singing Let It Go from Frozen all morning. It's because we went to Target and there was Frozen stuff everywhere, and we suddenly started singing it, and we cannot stop with Let It Go. So anyway, just if the CDC are watching, we will never let it go with you guys. You've done.
Absolutely not.
Anyway, I know you're on your way out, so I want to keep you, but I just want to thank you so much for telling your story and being so strong and just being a fabulous person. We love you. We really do.
I'm just astounded by everything that y'all are doing. I mean, I walked up to the bus, and I mean, I knew that it was going to be a little bit overwhelming. I didn't realize how overwhelming until you walk up, and it's like
being standing at the
bottom
of a mountain.
A graveyard almost.
Right.
Looking, it's just such a daunting, I imagine that's what it's like when you go to Arlington or somewhere, and you just, the vastness of the whole thing just kind of washes over you.
The bus,
I wasn't expecting that.
It sits in places like it's sitting now, and it's purring away. You can hear it. You can hear the engine. You can hear the generator. Whatever that thing is, it's making that noise in the background. So it's like it's alive.
Yeah.
It's alive.
You
There's energy.
feel it, absolutely. When you walk up, you feel it.
There's energy, and all around the bus are names and stories and pain. And it's a moving memorial.
I mean, it's not just like feeling, like seeing my kids'
death.
Names on there, but I've walked around and I'm like, I know that kid, and I know that kid, and I know that kid, and that's my friend so-and-so's kid. And it's just, it's awful. I mean, I don't know. But anyway, I just want y'all to know how much I appreciate what you're doing, and appreciate your families for letting you, get
Our
away and
families are
supporting
rocks.
you. And
They really are.
I mean, they're amazing. So thanks to all